Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is not the usual vlog we publish on our channel, but we thought we would sit down and give you an update on what's been happening with us.
Yeah.
We are in Lusaka right now, which is the capital city of Zambia, and we have been here for 1 week. And the last week has been really stressful on us.
So hopefully this video will not only give you a better perspective of what's been happening in our travel life, but at the same time it'll also hopefully give us some clarity around what to do next. So in this video we just wanted to first explain what we've been up to for the last 2 years, and then talk about what our planned route for season 3 originally was and what is happening right now that could potentially disrupt this whole journey. For those of you who joined this journey along the way somewhere, Shish and I are both from Bangalore, a city in southern India. We worked for a long time in corporate jobs and we were stuck to a very typical corporate life routine with weekend living. It was all centered around the weekends. But at some point we decided that we should take a 6-month gap break to travel full time. And that's how in May 2022, Shish and I left to Southeast Asia on a one-way ticket, and we explored all of these amazing countries, and we just had such an amazing time, learned so much about life and so much about our own selves that we were so grateful for this whole experience that we really wanted to do another season of travel after coming back from there. So in
the second year, which we call as season 2, we explored the Central Asian region and the Caucasus region, including Iran and Afghanistan. And season 2 was again a very grateful year, a very fulfilling year.
Most of you know that Shish and I have a very, very tiny budget, a very strict budget to be able to do this journey. After doing Asia for almost 2 years, we decided that we wanted to do something special for season 3. And that's how we ended up coming out here to Africa.
So in March 2024, we flew from Bangalore to Kenya, Nairobi, and that is where our season 3 began. So our original plan for season 3 was to explore the entire East African countries and Southern Africa. To explain this better, Navneet has drawn a little map, so let me show you.
Yeah. So this is our home, Bangalore, and in March of 2024, we took a flight that came out here to Nairobi, Kenya. Once we got here, we explored Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and eventually entered Malawi in August. So we spent a good amount of time exploring this region. And this was our first time in core Africa, and we really enjoyed it so much because this whole land is so fascinating. It felt like a whole other world. And then eventually when we came to Malawi, we experienced another side of Southern Africa where the landscape started to change, the people started to change as well, and then we decided to head further on into Zambia, and that's how we came here. So right now we are here in Lusaka, the capital of Zambia, and our plan was to actually travel further to Angola and Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, maybe Mozambique, and then finish our journey here in South Africa before heading back home to India. And the main reason we chose South Africa was because the flights to and from India to East and Southern Africa are the cheapest from Kenya and South Africa. After arriving in Zambia, we figured out that to enter Angola and Zimbabwe is possible without a visa or to obtain a visa upon arrival at the border. But for all of the other countries, we need a visa beforehand.
So now from Zambia, we can either go to Zimbabwe or Angola, which is visa free. But then what happens after that? We have a problem with Namibia and Botswana.
So to just explain this in simple words, all of these 4 countries, they have embassies here in Lusaka. Upon visiting some of these embassies, we very painfully learned that tourist visas are issued by these embassies to only those people in Zambia who are either residents or on a work visa here. So Shish and I are both here as tourists, and we have no intention to work here or to become residents. So we don't have any of that documentation to apply for our next set of visas. So we are sort of stuck.
So usually when we travel, before entering to any country, we ensure that we have the visa of the next country. So if we go to Angola,
the first question they will ask us at the border is, where will you go next? Back to India or somewhere else? And if we say somewhere else and we say Namibia and we don't have a visa, that creates a problem. In order to provide that comfort to immigration officers about our journey, we typically prepare beforehand with the next visas. And
so now even if we go to Zimbabwe, the question they will ask is where next, and for that we need to have the Botswana visa
or the Mozambique visa. And the complication with the Mozambique visa is they want to charge $150 for a simple stay of 30 days. It's not even for like 3 months, which all the others are doing at less than a third of the price. So Mozambique
Yeah.
is also so beautiful.
So we met many Westerners on this journey who were coming from Mozambique to Malawi, and they told that Mozambique was so nice, but they also told us they had to pay only $10 to enter Mozambique. Even for Botswana, our Western friends did not have to apply for the visa. It was free for them, and which makes it so easy for them to travel through all these countries.
Yeah. We spent all of last week trying to walk around visiting embassies of all of these countries to get clarity on what the visa process is. Because what we see on the internet versus what we see on some of their own embassies' websites versus what we've heard firsthand from travelers who have been there or on YouTube, is so vastly different. And we understand that Shish and I both come from India, which does not have a very strong passport. It's still growing. But we also did not expect that Africa, which is a similarly developing region, would make things so complicated for us to travel, who also come from a fellow developing land. And we've always found Africans to be so inviting and so friendly, but we were a bit pained to see that the complications of visa have only been getting worse and not better. Botswana happens to offer one alternative, which is an e-visa, but the problem with the e-visa is that there's no clarity on what the processing time is. There have been numerous accounts on the internet that have said, oh, it's taken about a month, it's taken 3 weeks, it's not even come through, there's no response. So all of this has put a bit of stress on us, and we don't know what will happen next. Either way, we went ahead and applied for the Botswana visa online by paying for it. At that point, we also learned that there is a e-visa portal for Namibia as well, and we decided to go ahead and apply there because there's no other alternative here, which is like to go to the embassy and do it. So when we applied for the visa online, it gave us only 3 options of how we want to enter the country, none of which seemed to be the ones that would work for us because of the current route that we have. The next country, Zimbabwe, is alright because they offer a visa on arrival facility, but the country after that is Mozambique. The most stressful part of this journey is the South African visa. South Africa and India are such close friends. Both governments work together on so many issues, and we've supposedly been friends since before we both got independence. I mean, both of our freedom struggles are similar because both countries were part of the British Empire. South Africa and India both issue free visas to each other. There is no cost. You still have to go through the administrative process of applying for a visa.
It's
And
so
South
sad
Africa,
that we cannot go and apply for these visas directly at the embassy, and all of them tell one thing: you have to go back to India, apply for the visa in India, and then
you can
come back.
So with all of these complications, we have been stressing out so much, and we are afraid that we will spend most of our time in Zambia trying to figure this out.
And if we were just traveling through Zambia, we thought Zambia in 1 week we can finish seeing everything and move on. But now it's going to take a long time here because we're just sitting and waiting for these visas, figuring out our route.
Yeah. So all of this is making it really hard for us to be able to continue on this journey, and we genuinely don't know if we'll end up completing this journey as we originally planned, or if we will be forced to exit somewhere from in between. And add to this the current situation in Zambia. Staying here in Zambia hasn't entirely been easy either.
It has been stressful in its own way. Zambia right now is going through heavy power shortage. There is drought. There's no water in the dams for them to generate electricity.
I mean, even Victoria Falls is dry right now, and that's why I don't even want to go that way to Livingstone, because if we go there and we see an empty gorge, we'll
feel so sad about it.
And it's unfortunate that Zambians are going through this, but we must say that Zambians are like really resilient folks to have been going through a drought for so long, to be going through power cuts for over a year, and to still be living life like everything is all right. I mean, you guys are amazing. I don't know how we could probably do this in our own country in India.
And all this makes it expensive for us to stay here because compared to the neighboring countries, even the hotels or the hostels, they are quite expensive. It hurts that we have to wait indefinitely until we get some visa to go ahead.
So yeah, this is our situation right now. I'm sorry, the intention of the video wasn't to rant, but a lot of people are curious about how life is for us as we travel full time, and this is a very, very big part of the journey that we don't often speak about because we feel people might get upset that we're trying to complain. But
because of all this stress from the past 1 week, we have just been running around to the embassies. Clearly we have not filmed even a single video.
So if you have any kinds of suggestions or advice on what we should be doing, please let us know in the comments below. It's something we read every single day. It makes a difference to us. On most days, even when our videos don't do so well, when we read comments from you guys and it says you enjoyed coming with us on the journey, it makes a world of difference. It's probably the first time we're really saying it out loud, but when Shish sits down to edit videos, the comments are a big boost for her to start working on them.
That's
Otherwise,
true.
it's a very monotonous thing to actually be sitting and running through footage and trying to make these videos and share it with you guys. So any kind of advice, suggestions, or even if you want to connect us with somebody who you think could help us in this situation, please let us know. Comments or send us an email or reach out to us on Instagram. There's 3 ways to do it. So we're actually going to stick around a bit longer here as the sun sets. We're going to have some dinner here.
We are right now at this garden restaurant called Emerald Bar and Restaurant. It's right in the city center of Lusaka. They have trees everywhere, so it's really green and cool and windy.
And the garden, like, it's an open seating in the garden. We'll just show you that in a little bit. But the most interesting part is, for us, the family that runs this restaurant, they are from our home city, from our home state, Karnataka. So it is true that you find Indians nearly everywhere, but to find people from Karnataka is quite rare. And we just hope that in some way we're also able to figure out the rest of this journey and we can continue and finish it successfully. So
And eating Indian food in these kind of situations is the one thing which makes us a little happy. It
Yeah.
satisfies the soul for a little bit of time at least, and reduces our homesickness also.
yeah, that's true.
And they have dosa on the menu. Maybe we can order that for dinner. I just got masala chai. Wow. Oh, the smell is so strong. I can smell it from here. I can smell elaichi, chai masala.
And I got buttermilk, or as we call it back home, majjige. Looks like it's getting pretty busy. So Shish and I just moved here. And she's already got her food.
Look what we have here. We've got vada after so long. Vada with sambar, and look at it. We have 3 types of chutneys, and it's like Indian flag. Thank you. Mysore masale dosa. So this is a typical South Indian dish. We usually have this like at least 2 to 3 times in a week at home. This is a rice pancake. It's crispy on the outside or on the base, and in the center it's a little soft. And this is stuffed with potato curry inside, and it's smeared with ghee all over, and that is the smell which is like coming out right now. Oh, it's so hot. And the special part of Mysore masala dosa is this red chutney which they smear it all over the dosa. It's basically this chutney which is made with onion. So this is onion chutney, coconut chutney, and mint chutney. You can either dip in any of these chutneys or a combination of them, and also in the sambar.
So if you're here in Lusaka and you want to try something that's very special from our home state, this is a dish you must try. And along with the dosa, you should also get these. This is called a vada. It's a little fried donut. It's a savory taste and it smells just like it's from home. And you can eat this also with the chutneys and the sambar. So it's as authentic as it gets.
Should I share with you?
So reluctant, huh? Ready to head back?
Yeah. That was such a good meal, and I'm so happy after it. How are you feeling?
I'm alright too. I'm glad we had the dosa. That's our taxi. It's a Yango. Yango is like Uber in Lusaka in Zambia. We just booked that and now we head back into our hostel. Let's go.